Good morning, everybody. This is Kathy Elkins in the Life Division with Premier Marketing. Thank you for taking your time out of your busy day. We appreciate that. With me on the phone today, I have Dana Brown. She is from Protective Life. She is their senior internal wholesaler, and I rely on her a lot for Protective. I've known Dana for many, many years, discussing emails back and forth with different products and options. Good morning, Dana. How are you doing?
Excellent. It is a beautiful day in Cincinnati, Ohio.
Love it. The sun is shining here and the wind's not blowing so horrible, so I'm loving it too. So I've asked Dana to join us today to help us go over, there are two types of term products. I have a lot of agents ask me quite often, what's the difference between the two and which one's the best option for your client? So I wanted to make sure that when you're running your quotes off our website and agent portal, you're going to be able to see and choose the right one that fits your client's needs. So Dana, I'm going to leave all the good information for you to hold and talk to on your clients or the agents. So go ahead.
All right. Well, thank you very much, first of all, for your time today. What we'll do is we'll talk through the two different options, like Kathy said, and then we will kind of look at some different unique things that we can do with the custom choice as well. So let's just get right into it. To give you a little background about myself, I've been, if my PowerPoint would work, there we go. I've been with Protective over 12 years, and specifically working in the life side, worked with Premier for a very long time, as Kathy said. So with Protective, just kind of giving you the landscape of what we are known for, I want to just make sure that you know that Protective is in it for the long haul. They're very committed to the term business. That is something that is one of our forerunners for product line. And so you'll notice, especially in the last several years, that Protective really likes to be competitive. And so there's going to be one product, which we'll talk about in a minute, that's you're probably going to see anytime you quote. And then we're going to talk about a second product you might not see as much and why you won't see it as much, okay? So just opening it up a little bit, if you've never heard about Protective before, what are we good at? You might have known us many years ago as the West Coast Life. Since then, we now have moved everything under the Protective label, even though West Coast Life was actually purchased by Protective years before they decided to switch. So back in 2011, they made that switch. So you probably do see Protective quite a bit in quoting. You'll notice on the right-hand side here, bottom left, that we have actually changed our logo. So that has changed most recently for us. But one of the things that we do really well is acquisitions. So I think we're up to, I think they said 59 acquisitions. Our most recent, Liberty, Great West, some blocks of Lincoln. We're really known at acquiring other businesses, but also with the type of products that we have. So lapse protection products, term is what we're known for Protective on the life side. Of course, we've got annuity products and things like that, but I really work on the life side, so that's what we're going to spend the bulk of our time is term today. So you can see that we have about 11.7 million policies and contracts. That's both Protective, West Coast, and all the purchase blocks. We've got 991 billion life in force. 127 billion in assets. One of the things I want to tell you that we are trying to maintain, as always, our AM Best rating. You can see we're highly rated, S&P, Moody's, Fitch, our Comdex rating. Actually, that's an old number. We were sitting at, I think we're at a 91 right now. So just some things on that. When we look at our products, whether it's term or universal life, we really think about big picture. And one of the things I want to say to you is when you look at Protective's products, you'll notice over the years, the products don't change that much. We don't go next year or, 2 years ago, we don't change product names a lot. So you'll notice that you'll see version numbers. So you'll see the custom choice, whether it's 1219, which that's what it was. You'll notice with the custom choice, classic choice, that we'll update the versions, but the products pretty much stay the same. So that's something that Protective really has a strength in. We're not changing up product lines a whole lot. We're in it for the long haul. Lapse protections are a strength for our customers. So, we work really hard at that. One of the things that's probably the biggest strength is that we haven't had to go and raise rates within the policies that we have. So that's also a big thing, because nobody wants to be that company that raises rates, or nobody wants to be the consumer or the agent that has to explain to their consumer that the rates are increasing because they didn't price the product right. So Protective really takes a big picture look at when they're pricing things. Sometimes we're not the most fast at creating new products, partly because, like I said, that thought process of really in it for the long haul, we're not changing things up super quick. But when we do, we commit to it. And, we're in it for the long haul. So let's talk about short-term solutions. So we're going to talk about our classic choice. This is the street product. This is the one that you're going to see most quoted. So when you're looking at any spreadsheets for term, which, let's be honest, most of the time we're spreadsheeting term, you're going to see classic choice the most. So a couple of years ago, we added 35 and 40-year term. This is also available in every state, including New York. 35 and 40 is now in New York as well. It's easy to understand. It's just term, okay? So you've got a level premium, 30 years, 40 years, and that's what it is, okay? Just like most terms, after the term period, it's going to go to yearly renewable term, which typically is going to go up year after year, and it's going to be very expensive, okay? But if you're only in it for a defined period of time, the classic choice is going to be your cheapest option out there for you to go and use, okay? The custom choice, here's the defining difference. So a couple years ago, more than a couple now because I've been with Protective so long, but several years ago, it was really hard to keep up with the pricing wars that happen with term. So if you've worked with any of our competitors, you've worked with us, you notice that a lot of times the pricing is neck and neck, pennies on the dollar from each other. Could be 3 cents, could be pennies, or could be 1 cent, because I have one carrier that is famous for that. You will notice when that was happening, it was very hard to keep up with that. It really was. So back several years ago, for some time, we actually took our product off a term chassis and we moved it to a universal life chassis. So we've got this custom choice quote hybrid product that was priced like a term, smelled like a term, but actually was a universal life plan, okay? So it's flexible, customizable. You could structure unique level premium designs on this thing. You still can. So that's the defining difference. One custom choice also could take 1035 because it's on a universal life chassis. So this allows you to kind of hone in with the customer to customize certain situations. So we'll go through those a little bit here. So just talking like how it works for the ages, and I will send this to Kathy. So if they're, if you guys come back and say, hey, can I look at the PowerPoint deck again? Or I know this is also being recorded. This will be on here as well. But these are our term periods for our classic choice. What also makes us a little unique is that we do have our policy fee that is commissionable. Now, this product does expire at age 95. A lot of terms do. Depending the year that you're in, some will go to 95, some will go to 100, some will go to lifetime. But for Protective, the expiration date on this product is age 95. Okay, so just talking about post-level premiums, where I was talking about the yearly renewable term. Now, we don't go out there because we're not going to, and I'm not going to debate with anybody today on different carriers that we have out there. All I really want to point to is the fact of, even on this term product where we know the yearly renewable premium after the term period is going to go up, ours is still significantly less than our top competitors in the term space, okay? So you'll see that while ours still goes up, because normally I always say like 10 times the premium at that point in the post level premium, you can see that we're still significantly cheaper. So that's just pointing to that for you. Now, let me open this up real quick. So one of the unique things that's going to separate the Classic Choice, the True Term product, from the Protective Custom Choice UL, remember I said it's priced like a term. It's a little bit more expensive than the Classic Choice, but I'll be honest with you, the premium's not that big of a spread, so it's worth running the quote. You might not see it like right up in your top 5, partly because the Classic Choice is really the spreadsheeted product. The Custom Choice might be down to the 20th section because it might be 50 cents difference. So just know it might be worth you looking at the Custom Choice just based on the flexibility, okay? So talking about the Custom Choice, one of the big things is when we're talking about yearly renewable term, this product's different. So the product on this one, when we go, so say we're doing a 20-year level term period, instead of it going up to higher premiums, the Custom Choice premium stays the same and the death benefit decreases. Now, I want to just tell you, if you're like, well, we don't know what it's going to go to, but you do. Because this is a universal life product and it is guaranteed values, you actually see exactly what your death benefit is going to go to after the yearly renewable term. It's guaranteed values. It's right on the illustrations when you run them, if you run a full illustration. Okay? So think of this. Think of your customer space. Think of, life events that happen with a person. Thinking of myself. When I start out and I'm younger, having children, my needs are going to change, okay? So in the beginning, I may need to put my kids through college. I have a mortgage. I have all this stuff that I might not need the full coverage when I'm 65 or 70, but the need's at least somewhat there at that point. By going to a decreased face amount, and you can see the guaranteed values, you might look at it and say, you know what, over time, because this death benefit does keep decreasing on the Custom Choice, but it might be, what I know a lot of people consider it as a burial policy at the end. So a lot of times it'll bottom out at 10,000, but that'll be like way down the road when you're looking at like age 98. So just some things on the Custom Choice that are good. Now, we'll talk about conversion in a minute because they both actually do have conversion privileges. So again, this one, talking about company term A, if we're competing against the Custom Choice, looking at our universal life, you can actually see it points out that the annual premium increases significantly while the death benefit stays level, okay? So this right here, you can see in company A, year 21, so this is a 20-year term, that you can see the annual premium now jumps from where it was $677. We're bumped up to $12,000. Whereas you can see here, the face amount for Custom Choice does move down to $159,000, but that annual premium stayed the same. So that's all that points to in that one. And now talking about, this is more of a sales idea. With the Custom Choice product, we actually use this a lot for mortgage protection. It just seems to work well with it. So with this, we have, we have a company B. It's a 30-year term is what they did. The mortgage is $375,000. What we could do and still keep under the threshold, we did a 20-year level death benefit period instead of a 30-year. The reasoning behind it, I'll show you in a minute, because the death benefit can decrease and kind of matches where the mortgage is at that point. You can actually save yourself premium dollars by using this. So we've got a 20-year Custom Choice that they chose. Same scenarios, 35-year preferred. We did $500,000 though on this one instead of the $375,000. So for those 20 years, that $500,000 stays there, and then, as we know, the death benefits is going to decrease, and then but the premium stays the same. So we'll know, say they had 25 years left on their mortgage, the death benefit in year 25 is $110,974, and it keeps in line with what, if you look over on the left for what the mortgage is, or yeah, same thing, 97,212. So it's still keeping in line with the mortgage and saving you some money, in the long term. So you can see this is cumulative premium at the bottom. 12,300 was on company B. For us, it was 10,173. Just a simple sales idea for you to think about the custom choice because of the customization you can do with this product. Okay. All right. So another thing that we talk about a lot with the custom choice product that I like is if you've got a situation where you have somebody starting out in college, they're going to go to school to be a doctor, and they can't afford the premiums, upfront for the first 5 years. Being on a universal life chassis, we can actually customize the premium to be lower in years 1 to 5, and then step up the premium when they're out of college to $935 and 61 cents. So one of the things I want to also share, you're like, well, why is this column the 752.63? This was a 10-year term. Year 11, if the guy hadn't chosen to step the premium this way, the 752.63 was what the premium would have been from years 1 to 10. So I just want to point that out. And then you can see in year 11 that 556,686 is what his death benefit goes to. Now, hopefully I'm getting to a slide talking about conversion. And you can do this, the customization, not only on a 10-year, you can do the same thing with a 15-year where you can do lower premiums. You can do it all the way up through 30-year. Now, custom choice can only go to 30 years. We did not do 35 and 40 for that product because, like I said, back then, we used it as our term product several years ago. Now, we decided to keep it because of the popularity of this product, because it's a product that's sold. It's not spreadsheeted. I mean, obviously, there's definite flexibility in this. We can 1035 into this product. So, it just takes a little more effort for the agent to kind of explain how it works and that kind of thing, but there's a lot of good things around this one. So, let's see here. Okay, so I didn't put it on the slide. I thought it was there, but it's not. So as far as conversion, so the rule for conversion for the classic choice, because it is our street product, it is not, it's priced to be competitive, but the conversion privilege is not as robust as the custom choice. So the custom choice, I just want to tell you, it's very simple. 20 years to convert or to age 70, and you can go to any of our premier products, which is going to be our Lifetime Advantage, our Index Choice. They're all our street premier products that we can sell. So it's pretty much all our street products. With the classic choice, you can only do that in the first year of the product, the first 5 years of the product. After that, you're going to be limited to a conversion product or conversion products, which is the Pro Classic Legacy or the non-par whole life. So when we're talking about conversion, for just a little bit more in premium, the custom choice does have a better robust option. The other thing I want to tell you is talking about late payments. So the custom choice, you actually have 61-day grace built in there because it's on a universal life chassis that you have flexibility to make your payments. The classic choice is how a term is. So it's 30 days with coverage. If it has 30 days. And then after that, you can still reinstate it, but it's another 30 days that you're technically not covered. So to make it right, basically. So you can see, obviously, too, from a payment situation that the custom choice has a lot more flexibility. Now, I will tell you right now, I would not put a massive amount of 1035 into the custom choice because, remember, it's still a term. So if if you've got cases that are $5,000, $6,000, that might make sense. It might significantly reduce your payments or eliminate them, truthfully, if you only need that coverage for a defined amount of time. So just some things on that. Now, there are some riders that you can put on this. You can put, I don't think I'll list out child rider, but we have child rider, We have this income provider option. We can do waiver of premium. I think that's going to be about it. So those are included on the plan as well. If there are only just a couple of states that you can't add waiver of premiums, very few. So the system will tell you if you can't have it, but most states will have it. Child rider, available in all states, so no problem there. You can do up to 25 units for children, which is newer. One of the things that's the newest thing I like about child rider that they've made easier for us and for you all is that the child can convert any time after they are in the contract. They can convert and they can go to whatever the parent's product line is. So if it happens to be within that first 5 years for the classic choice, that they can go to the lifetime assurance or the lifetime advantage, they can do that, or the index. They can go up to that, and it's like 5 times the face. So they can do up to 125,000 on that for coverage, and they don't have to get through underwriting. That's what the benefits of conversion. So some good things on that. The income provider option is a little unique. This is available on not only our term products, but also our permanent products. And what this does is it basically is, we call it a poor man's trust, because you can customize the death benefit and payments for the clients. You don't have to do this. We certainly don't lock you into this, but it allows you more sales opportunities. As far as if you're trying to do a poor man's trust, if you've got situations where somebody thought they were select preferred, the best class out there, and we figure out or find out that they're instead standard or table rated. By choosing out the income provider option rider, this allows you to stretch the death benefit out in installments, and in turn, it also lowers the premium for the customer. This also helps in a situation where they're table rated because they had some impairment that just needs some time to kind of resolve itself. If they have a cancer history, that kind of thing, and they need to, be past 4 years or 5 years for breast cancer, that kind of thing. So just some good things on the income provider option. You do need to know it's treated as a single premium immediate annuity, so there's some tax portion to that if you use the income provider. But the great thing is when you run that illustration with the income provider option on it, it will tell you what the exclusion is based on the age of the client and all that situation. So some good things on that. You can the longer you stretch out the payments on this, the more discount they get up front, which we like. You can also structure it so if you wanted a lump sum immediate death to pay to the loved one, the beneficiary, you could certainly do that as well. So just lots of customization, just like you can do on the custom choice. You can also blend our products. So one of the highlights I want to just share with you is our applications. We can, if you need to only write one application, you can do that. So if you needed to break it up into an index product, a permanent term product, and just split it out that way, we can do that. And we only need one app, okay, to get that done. So that's a benefit for you all. We can also, Kathy, I'm sorry, I might put you on the spot on this. Are they dropping the tickets on iPipeline, or are they doing any drop ticket stuff?
We're doing a lot of drop tickets. They're doing it from our website, our agent portal, through iPipeline. So
okay.
A lot of the agents have switched doing that. We still have a lot doing paper, but majority of them are doing the drop ticket today.
Okay, I'm going to speak about this for just a second because I want to tell you the benefits of using the drop ticket, okay? So even using iPipeline, the platform that you all use, it's going to dump into our Easy App platform. So there's some good things to it. First of all, we do the phone interview for the client, okay? We can do it in English or Spanish. I do want to tell you we cannot do other languages. We are not equipped to do that. So I want to be clear up front that you know that. If somebody is Spanish speaking, we do make them go through the telelife process, partly because we have Spanish speaking agents that we can go and ask medical questions. The drop ticket platform, we have what we call our Plus Underwriting solution. That's our accelerated underwriting. So here's the thing. If you drop it on iPipeline, there's nothing special you need to do. If it fits the silo of going through accelerated underwriting where you don't have to go through fluids, APSs, or anything like that, it's just going to go, okay? It's not going to, there's nothing special you need to do, no boxes you have to check, okay? That's a good program if it fits within that. Why we like the drop ticket, honestly, is because it puts people in good order, because the system can't accept things that are not, and so that makes the data better. The data better for you and the data better for us. So it also reduces cycle time, most importantly, by 14 days by doing it that way. You can do permanent and term products on that. Same for iPipe. iPipe now can do indexed, which is great because for a while they couldn't. But now they can do all the products. So that's a really good thing for us. One of the things I can also tell you is you can actually call and do the Telelife interview right after you drop the ticket. We do get a shell record from iPipeline where they will ask for the client's social because they have to tie the record, but they can do it even though the stuff hasn't completely came over to us. We do have a shell that comes to us with some basic info so we can do the phone interview right away. And then at the same time, we'll order the exam records and any additional info that might come up that we need to do. If we need to, if you mentioned on the app when you dropped it that you want to bind for coverage, we will go cover that with the client, and you guys don't have to talk about that really, other than making sure that if you wanted to bind for coverage that you let us know that on when you guys drop it. Let me see. So the client interview, if you guys don't call us, we call them within 24 hours. It's our people, which I like about that, so we don't have to worry about a third party trying to work through that with a paramed company that might not work the same way Protective does. This is just a screen that's not for you all. This is what our screen looks like on Protective. But like I said, you already have access to iPipeline, so it's already dumping in there. So let me get out of this. I just want to show you this last thing. Give me just a second here. You can do electronic policy delivery. I highly recommend that, especially during COVID. You guys probably all learned that electronic policy delivery was the best way to go at that point. It's the fastest way to get things issued. Sorry, this is just screens for this. Okay, what I wanted to get to is we do text reminders that you can opt into, or even doing now I will tell you, iPipeline, this is coming for iPipeline. This is not active right now, but you can actually do an online part 2 going forward. I think iPipes is going to hit around July or August. Don't hone me in on that date, but the last I talked to them was when we were going to implement it for iPipeline. So you will be able to, if you don't have time or the client doesn't have time to do an online phone interview. We do have to do a couple of pieces that are a quick thing on the phone, but if they want to type in who their doctor is, location, and all that, that's something that has worked pretty well in our pilot program. So iPipe, we wanted to wait, and so we're only offering that right now on ours specifically, but that's something that's coming, and I think it'll be a good service once we get it up and running for you all. Like I said, the direct transfer, we can do that. Voice signature, that's a huge thing. All the same stuff you can do with iPipe. I already talked about Plus. I think e-signature, we accept Adobe, DocuSign, eSign, if that comes up to it, Paperless Solutions Group. Yeah, that's it. Okay. Oh, yeah. This is the last thing I'll leave you on. The EHR, electronic health records. Protective is always looking at easier ways to get the information without having to go to the client, believe it or not. Now, sometimes it feels like Protective goes after a lot of things, and I'll be honest with you, sometimes we do, especially with APS records. We do still heavily order them. We're constantly looking at ways to alleviate that, okay? So we've instilled EHRs if we can get them, where we automatically go after them once we do the phone interview. If we can't get them, then we have to order the APSs if it's needed. So New York, just talking about that for a second, just in case, because I think Kathy said we might have some Connecticut people that cross the line to New York. We can do EPD in New York, which is a big deal. We actually, for a long time, couldn't do drop ticket in New York, and that's new. So iPipe can do New York. So that's probably a big thing for you all too. It was for us. So just to recap real quick before I'm going to open it to questions, and then Kathy, you can open up to anything I've forgotten, is that, we've got 2 term products with a lot of flexibility. The custom choice, by far the most flexibility. If you're looking to tailor fit the product to the customer, we can do that. Sorry, I'm not going to talk about the UL return of premium because we didn't talk about it. So we're only dealing with term today. Don't forget about just iPipeline and all the benefits that you can do by dropping tickets with Protective, the Plus Underwriting Program, the Accelerated Underwriting. Nothing special you need to do. Just submit the ticket and we'll do the rest. If it fits that silo, it will go through that process. And then electronic policy delivery, if you're not comfortable with doing it, I encourage you to try it at least once to see how you like it. All right, Kathy, what did I forget? Anything?
Thank you. Anything. Everything. No, just kidding. You did really good on everything here. The custom choice UL, I just want to bring this back up a little bit on 1035 money. We get calls a lot saying, what can you do for $1,000, $1,500, or $2,000 for an old policy? It's a perfect opportunity to do a 1035 here with the custom choice UL because no other carrier is going to be able to go that low. So a lot of people just take the money out and just, cancel the policy they currently have. But it's a good opportunity for you guys to look at there. As far as the conversion on that, that's a great opportunity because we get calls all the time looking for the best conversion option. Where can we go with this? You guys have one of the better ones, which is great. I did not know about the children's whole life policy on that, or their that was convertible. That's new to me, but that's awesome because you can go up to 25,000, which most carriers only go up to 10,000 per unit. The nice thing I like about that is they could have 7 children or 1 child, and it's 1 premium payment of the extra, and the children's rider onto that. So if all the children can actually convert, that's wonderful to a different policy. I'm assuming when you said 5 times the face up to 125,000, that means they have opportunity they can convert today at 25,000, but then they can also add up to 5 times up to 125,000. Is that what you meant by that?
So good question to that. So the child rider, the max we can do is 25 units. So okay. when a child is converting, so think of this. So they're going to be locked in up to age 25 to convert. Well, we will allow them to go to max amount of 125,000. Well, I hate to say this, but it's probably dirt cheap for somebody that young for them to write a policy without having to go through underwriting. So that it basically allows them to go 5 times to whatever. So if they chose 20 units times 5, that kind of thing. It's 5 times what the original face was. Yeah.
Nice. That's awesome. That's great. Doing the drop ticket, and if you haven't done the drop ticket yet, I've had agents call me. They get to our website, they do the application online, or even in your website, and they call back and they go, I didn't enter a lot of information, a lot of health information. Did I forget something? This is so simple. What happened? It literally took them 3 to 5 minutes to enter an application. Talk about saving you time, saving you energy and money that you don't have to print an application off, miss something that's not filled in correctly, or get that information later. That's what the carrier is going to call and talk to that with your clients about. So those drop tickets are very simple, very easy to do at our website. I love, love, love them. One thing that you do need to talk to your clients about, though, is expectations moving forward with this. Let them know that this is the procedure that's going to happen. You're going to be, you can call in and do your telephone interview immediately right after the application process. Let's not waste any time. Make sure that they're aware that they can do that. Make sure that they're also aware that the policy could go exam-free and underwriting-free as far as having medical records ordered if they have no red flags. Mm-hmm. But also, also explain to them if they find red flags during that process, they may have to do an exam. and then they may have to do medical records. Depends on their health and what they have. So if you're trying to get your client through it by saying this is a fully committed simplified issue policy, it's not. It's just their way of trying to speed up the process for everybody and themselves to help make sure the client gets their underwriting completely done by just simply looking at a few things, MIB, pharmacy script, MVR, and anything else that they find out there that may help them to do the underwriting quicker and faster for the healthier clients on that. You mentioned the Spanish phone interview going through the tele-life portion, which is needed. You're the only company that I know of at this time that does that, which is great because everybody else that, you know, has Spanish-speaking clients, they have to do paper apps. That's amazing for the clients that you have out there. So if you're interested in being able to make sure you share this information with them, that's a great tool for you guys to have with this great carrier. I think you caught on to everything else. I did have one question from an agent. I don't know if you have this handy or not, but do you have an illustration for the mortgage protection slide that calculates this for you? I don't know if you have an illustration that shows the custom choice UL as it starts decreasing or not, but that was.
I have a sales piece that does, and I can email that to you right away. Yeah,
perfect.
Absolutely.
Yep. I was going to say, otherwise, George, if you're still on here, I don't think he is, but we can, if anyone else is looking for one, please let me know. Give us a call. We'll go ahead and send this out to everybody. Just make sure you have it. But simple, easy. You can run the quotes from our website at the agent portal. It does show up on the spreadsheet, and it does come down a little bit. Normally, I've seen it actually sometimes less expensive than the Classic Choice. Sometimes it's right next to the Classic Choice or within, you know, a few pennies or dollars away from the Classic Choice. Depends on the benefit you're looking for your client, but it's still in there in the top 6 categories of premium prices. But if you're looking to show that rider, or not the rider, but showing how it shows in the illustration, we can certainly help you with that here and get you the right illustration to show your clients on that. But we use this tools quite often in our area, explaining to clients, you know, when you're 35, 40 years old, applying for a term because you need that today, talk about your future with your clients and figure out, do they need this full amount at 65, 70 years old, or can they go into this type of platform and then drop the, you know, have that decreasing term showing on there. And it has worked for some people where they come back and go, well, if I have to apply for final expense now, how much is it going to cost at that age to apply for final expense versus what they're currently paying now? So it's a great benefit for your clients. If there's no more questions, or if you do have any more questions, please reach out to us, 800-365-8208. The Life Team extension is 607. I appreciate everybody for being on the call today. Dana, as always, you're great help to work with. All this great information that you provide for us. I really appreciate all your time and energy that you put into this too for us. But do you have any more questions or comments yet, Dana?
No, you're good. Like I said, I'll send that piece to you for the mortgage protection. And if some, stuff comes up, like I know we talked about the income provider option. If that comes up, because I'll tell you, when you quote that, that's a little bit different the first couple times that you run it. So people struggle with that a little bit. It's not hard once you see somebody do it. So if, reach out to Kathy or the marketers over at Premier that can help. And like I said, if they run into anything, just because I will tell you, it opens up a world of opportunities for sales ideas. But I do understand the quoting, especially if you ever use WinFlex, it's a little bit difficult to understand that you double the face amount for the lump sum section. So I can walk you through the first one, just reach out. But yeah, no, that's pretty much it. Just thank you for the time. I appreciate it.
Me too. If you don't have WinFlex Web, that might be something that you look for, www.winflexweb.com. That's where you can run majority of your quotes for Protective. If you have any questions on that, please give us a call too. We can help you walk through that as well. But thanks everybody. Have a great day. Thanks, Dana. Much appreciated. Have a great day, everybody.
All right. Bye-bye.
Thanks. Bye.